Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to install a Node.js server or your first Node.js server on your Amazon AWS Linux AMI. So make sure your machine is running. If you're unfamiliar with how to get one of these machines running, I recommend you check out my other videos on how to set up a web server on a Linux AMI first. So this is a prerequisite to this video. So you have your machine running, you know, the public DNS and IP address, and you would want to log in to your machine via SSH. Also, these steps are covered in another video, so if you're unfamiliar with that, please check out the other videos on how to access your machine on SSH. So the machine is running, we are connected, and as we can see here, I'm going to clear that. I don't have that much files in my home directory folder. So the first thing you want to do is install some development tools. We need in order to install and run Node.js and the package managers. So you want to install the latest releases of these development tools. Just copy the commands and paste them into your console, and it will download and install all our required packages. So that's it. The development tools are installed, and now we can install Node.js using Yum Package Manager, and this will also take a while, and install all required packages, and that's it. Okay, so these 2 or 3 steps are everything you need to get Node.js running. You can check just by typing Node and the version. So you have version 14. The same for the npm package manager. It's installed in version 6.14.4. All right, that's basically it. Everything you need. Now you can create your first script on the server. I will use Nano as a editor tool. Just type sudo, and you can type any name. I will just name my file demo server.js. Oh, sorry, not sudo, nano. And I have something prepared for you right here. This is a small script that will create your first very simple Node.js server. So we're gonna include HTTP, then create a server with request and response. So the server will wait for any request and send a response with 200 HTTP code OK and a small message, hello stranger, welcome to Node.js. And the server will listen on port 3000. And there's one important thing to focus on. In many other tutorials you will have something like a local IP address or local host, which would also work in principle, but the problem is if you use the callback IP address like this, your server will only be accessible from your very machine, so not from the outside world. So you want to just leave it blank so it's accessible from everywhere. And then we're gonna have a little console log. So that's basically it we need for our little server. You can, if you want, you can check your public IP address here, but it will change every time you sorry, every time you boot up your machine. So, but still you can use this now, and just copy this. I'm on my local machine here, and paste it into your Nano editor. Control O will save the file, and Control X will leave the editor. Now we can see that we have a new file, demoserver.js, and we can basically start the server now. But one thing you have to do before you can do that, or I have already done this here, but I'm going to show you again. You need to add the port 3000 to your security settings, to your inbound rules. So you can see here my inbound rules for this machine are port 80 for HTTP, port 22 for SSH, and port 3000 for my Node.js server. So if you're unfamiliar with that, check out the security groups on your machine, and you can add new rules down here, edit inbound rules, and you would be able to add. It should look like this. This means that this server is accessible from everywhere, any IP address on the internet. So if you want to restrict this access to your local IP address of your laptop, computer, whatever, you can type this IP address, but you need to know your IP address. So not everyone can access your machine. Right now I'm gonna leave it accessible by anyone, because I will just shut down the server when I'm done with this little tutorial. All right, so that's it. We saved our Node.js file, and now we can basically start our server with the command node and your sorry, that's the wrong one, and the name of your file you just created, demoserver.js, and we can add the inspect parameter to see some details. So let's check it out. And now the console tells us that our machine is running. There's also a debugger, but of course it's hard for us to, we cannot access this by browser from the outside, so only from inside, so it's not that big of a use right now. But we can access this this address. You can just basically go back to your instances, check out your machine, and copy the IP address, or you can copy the DNS name as well. But don't forget to add port 3000 in the end. Hit OK, and we see, hello stranger, welcome to Node.js. I put another script in the description, which will basically do the very same thing, but add the user's IP address, so you can see what with what IP address you are accessing the server. So we have this little sometimes you have to check which IP address is part of the request. Sometimes it's request headers x forwarded for, sometimes it's rect connection or in remote address. So this is why there's this if else. You can just copy this, and I'm gonna shut down the server again and go back to my editor. Just sorry, okay, yeah, and delete everything we've done so far and add my new script. So you can basically see that you now have a little bit more sophisticated script that will show the user's IP address when we access the server. So okay, and welcome stranger, this is the IP address of my local machine right now. So I could restrict the access to my instance to this IP if I want to. So, but that's it, folks. You have your first Node.js server running. Of course, you would have to log in to SSH every time you want to start the server and leave this console open, so that's not very convenient. But there is a way to start these servers as a service, but I'm gonna cover this in another video. So far, have fun.